Hello, this is Jim Kitzmiller. Let's take a look at the subject of inner peace in today's world, because there's so much going on in today's world. You know about all the bad news you read in the newspapers and on the internet, so there's no point in dwelling on all that. So let's talk about this, or take a look at this subject of fear. You probably have heard this expression from a former president. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. And actually, we might even examine that a little closer, because we can actually let go of all fears. We don't even have to fear fear. Here you see a picture of the Buddha meditating, existing in inner peace amongst all the things that are going on. And there's another reason to be in inner peace and not live in fear, because what we place our attention on tends to manifest, it tends to happen. That's also mentioned in the law of attraction. But here's a quote from Dr. David Hawkins on that subject. So let's let go of all of our fears, and let's look at how all this fits together. There's basically two kinds of suffering. That's where we compulsively want something we can't have. And you see these two arrows pulling away from each other. This arrow wants to pull something towards you, and that thing is kind of pulling away. And that's one of the kinds of suffering, and that actually generates electrical charge. And the flip side of that is we compulsively resist something that just won't go away. So we're pushing it away, and it keeps coming at us. Here's another look at the first one. Compulsive desire tends to drive people and things away. Here we see a woman pulling a man towards her, and this man is pulling away from her. So actually, the more we have a compulsive desire for something, we actually tend to make it go away. And here's the flip side of that. You might be familiar with Star Trek from TV, and there are opposing forces. The Enterprise was trying to resist the Borg, who are the bad guys who have this ship on the right. So each one was pushing at each other. Now, resistance is futile, most notably when we're doing inner work, because we want to let go of all resistances as we're doing inner work, and there's a lot of processes to handle that. Now, here's a way to let go of struggle. You may have seen this Chinese finger puzzle where people are just pulling and pulling and pulling, and the harder they pull and the harder they struggle, the more they tend to be stuck. So, as you probably know, the way to get out of this is you stop struggling. And when you stop struggling, you can gently remove one of the sides, say your left finger, or if you choose that one, and gently remove that one, and then remove the right finger from the puzzle. So basically, we let go of struggle. So let's look at the subject of immunity and what that means. For the purposes of handling suffering, it means we're free from desires and resistances. And there are different types of immunity. Physical immunity has a lot to do with energy and a lot to do with nutrition and good foods and lifestyle. And that's tied into the other types of immunity, of course. There's an emotional immunity, which we can get actually from letting go of desires and resistances. This doesn't mean we build a wall around ourselves. It means that we can experience things comfortably. There's spiritual immunity, which we can do through various kinds of spiritual exercises, and there's numerous ones. You can find a lot of those on the Meditation Vacations website. And then there's mental immunity. That's where we're free from a lot of clutter, free from overwhelming amounts of information, and also free from negativity, which actually affects all of these other areas. So at the middle of all this is practical immunity. There's practical things we can do on a consistent basis to improve our overall immunity in life. For one thing, we can establish a savings account and put money in it on a regular basis, and then we're immune from certain conditions which could drag us down. And there's a host of other things, and it's a whole course or series of courses that can be taught to cover this subject completely. So the best way to handle all this is to simply raise our level of consciousness. And when we do that, we just feel good. We're immune from suffering as we raise our level of consciousness higher and higher. We're less likely to suffer. We're more likely to experience happiness and inner peace as we do this. And here's a way to do things which can be tremendously helpful. It can let go of suffering. It can actually help you experience more inner peace. And this can be done on a regular basis. We can start any action with silence. Perhaps we can start our day with meditation or some kind of spiritual exercise or prayer and experience silence. And then we can pick some helpful action. It doesn't have to be the ultimate action to end the need for all other actions or anything. It's just something that improves our life a little bit. Say we arrange a pile of papers that's on the desk. So that's a helpful action. We choose that, we do it, and after we do it, we congratulate ourselves. And this is very important. Congratulate ourselves. When we do that, we build up a sense of self-esteem, self-worth. And as we do that more and more, we have a sense of accomplishment, and we feel better about ourselves, and we can get out of states of overwhelm, and we can actually get closer and closer towards inner peace because we know we've done something. And I want to thank you very much for watching this video with me. You're welcome to email me. I'm especially interested in anything relating to your happiness. And so please feel free to do that. This is my website, meditationvacations.com. There's a lot of exercises there. You can keep updated pretty much on a daily basis through this Twitter site. And this is my book of 400 exercises on how to feel bliss. So thank you again.